Welcome back to Lake Lot Build. My name is John, and today we are going to be working on stuff that's actually pretty. So we're going to switch a little bit here. I'll turn around and show you what I've been working on. So we are now going to work on this decorative wood banding that goes in this corner. If you remember me talking to you guys about where it was going to be dark, was going to be wood, so it'll happen there and then in the doorway. Originally I wanted to run them vertically, but since my connection points run vertically, I was really having trouble trying to figure out the furring strips. If it's wood, if it's metal, then it brings the profile out, and then my siding that goes, it'll bring that, that profile won't match up. And what the problem is that up here at the top, where I'm going to have my flashing that comes over the top and down, you might have two different faces there, and so it's going to be a little cumbersome. So I was doing some research, and my wife was doing some research, and we came across a bunch of pictures of horizontal siding with horizontal accents, and it really looked pretty. So we decided, well, let's rotate that. That'll solve my problem with the furring strips, and then we'll go from there. So originally we had decided that we wanted to use some sort of decking, either like a Trex brand, some sort of composite decking. And then that was unbelievably ridiculously expensive, and so that was kind of out. And then, okay, well, maybe cedar, right? Well, cedar also is very expensive, but it's also kind of brittle. It's so soft, and we were looking at samples, and I just wasn't that happy with it. So then I thought, well, okay, let's go to pine. So tongue and groove pine. And so we looked at that, but I wasn't really happy with the pine. It's also soft. It's not really meant to be outdoors unless you have, lots of staining on it or sealers on it. So we came back to 1x6, actually it's called 5/4 by 6 pressure treated decking. And the product that I picked is from Lowe's, their top choice. And I'll turn around here and we'll zoom up, and that's what we've come up with. Now, I'm going to get a product that's good from Tyvek. It's called a Rainscreen, and so it sits this wood out ever so slightly so that you have an air gap behind it. If you remember, I'll zoom here, this is our Fox block, so that's where our strips are that we can screw into, and it's every 8 inches. So, and there's also one that's 2.5 inches in from the edge on either corner here. So what I decided to do was we'll go one there, and then we'll do 16 inches there, and then another one over here. So this 4-foot board actually gets attached by 6 different places. Now, the next thing I've done is that I've countersunk these here, and I'm going to use this screw that has a bigger wide head on it, but it's a flat head. And then what I'll do is I bought a plug hole, a plug maker, and so you drill it in and it makes plugs, and you just pop them out. And so then I'll put plugs in each one of these. We'll shave it off, and then we can stain it, and so then the water won't penetrate in there, because I'll put a little glue in there, stick them in there so that it makes them waterproof. That way those fasteners don't get, you don't see them. 2, they're waterproof. And sometimes even the best screws after a while will leave a little staining. Even stainless steel after about 20 years can have a little bit of staining, and I didn't want any staining coming down the wall here. So that is how I have designed this. So now we will work over on the corner. Now the corner, at first I wanted to do the plug style here and plug these corners, but I'm on this 45. I take the depth of a plug. There's not much to bite. And I was worried that doing a plug, if I splinter this out or anything like that. So ultimately, I did kind of a finish screw. Oops, sorry, so it's not really attached there. So what I did was I did a finish screw right here, and it is self-tapping, and so it doesn't split the wood. And so I did 3 on this one, and so therefore this little guy here is also glued and screwed together. And so that should hold this 45 together pretty strongly, and hopefully it won't open up over time. So today is going to be assembly line making. So I'll cut all the 4-footers, all the 2-footers, make sure I have the 45s on them, and then we'll go back and mark all of the locations for all the holes for the plugs. And I need to do that all the way up this guy. Let's go inside and I'll show you my jig that I've made for this, and then we'll start the assembly process. Now, over here I have made a jig on the floor. We'll make it easy to make a 45, and so I can put those in there, put my screws in there, and not have the pieces moving around. I can push them and hold them, use my glue, use my screws, and ultimately I made it so that I can put the top screw, 2 screws in, and then flip it and do the other screws. So this is a perfect 45, and it's a good jig so that each one of these are the same coming up, and I'm not trying to make it out there in the field. I'll just stack these as I go up. Next was turning around here for you, and that is to mark all of the holes from my master one that I made. So we have 2 holes there, 2 holes there, and then down here is the other 2 holes. Now over here on the 2-footers, let me turn it this way, we'll have the 2 holes there, 2 holes there, and then I've marked for the 3 holes here that will take the edge of it here, that will connect this 45 together. So what I'll do is I'll glue that and screw that. Before I start doing all of this drilling, I'm going to show you real quick on a drill press the reason I've chosen that versus just doing it by hand. So the drill press has a stop on it, and so I was able to set my depth on it. And so I have this piece here that I can show you. I'll try to zoom up on it. So like say you start there, somewhere in there, and then it's going to come down to about that much. And so that will allow that screw to fit down in there, and then also the plug to go on top, but still have enough meat in the in this piece of wood here that it attaches to the wall really well. Okay, so we have everything cut, drilled, and now we're ready for assembly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my jig here. So here's all the corner pieces, all at a 45, and they have been glued together and screwed together, and so I let them sit overnight to make sure the glue is all fully cured before we put those on.
So for this corner of the house, John went ahead and made this siding detail by cutting 45s and then screwing and gluing those together here on the corners. And then we're actually just transporting those on over and then screwing into the Fox Blocks wall. Now, what we've also done is install this Tyvek DrainVent. And this is a newer system as far as from Tyvek. They've had these kind of drain systems on the market, but this is a new one for Tyvek. And this allows us to have an air gap and also a way for water, if there's any water that gets back behind the siding, it allows it to flow in between the styrofoam and the drain screen so that our wood stays nice and dry and also allows some air to circulate around there. How's it feel to not have to be filming too?
That's all good. Well, we're running pretty straight. Let me come up just ever so slightly, but I think we're good to go.
Then we've also got our little man here today. So what are you doing over here?
Well, pretty much we just have to drill out the little nubs to have the screws to cover over their screws so it doesn't look so ugly. So basically, I'll show you how this thing actually has a little circular cut right here, which then we'll make one of these cuts so it covers the screw. So I'll show you what that looks like.
You're making the
right
plugs.
now.
That's right. The plugs to cover in the screw holes.
Yeah. And there's one of the plugs, the screwdriver, and just pop it out and put it in.
Awesome. Good job.
After about another day and a half of work, we have now pretty much finished the wood siding. So let's take a look, see what you guys think. So over here we have taken the 4 foot wide there and 2 foot wide there, and I ran them from the bottom to the top, and I used my level on all of them to make sure that they stayed perpendicular to the house to make sure. And then over here, we'll come in here and take a look. I was able to have the guys set my front door for me, which was supposed to come after our last concrete pour, but they're in the back right now working on the lower deck and the upper deck, and so at the end of the day they set it for me, so that was really nice of them. So I have my trim here all the way around, and the door has been set, and we're now good to go for me to start putting plugs in. So let's take a look what a plug is going to look like. So there's a plug, and it's going to go in one of these holes just like that, and then I'll hammer it in, and then we'll shave off the top of it. Probably we'll go old school with a chisel, and then I'll come back with my random orbital buffer here after a few days. We're going to let it dry out, get the moisture out of it, and it'll be easier to sand, and I'll try to get a nice uniform color. That is it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure and like and subscribe, and tune in next time. We're rocking and rolling. If you can hear, we got guys in the back. So our next few episodes are going to start to get really interesting. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.